From cosmic cubes to the Infinity Gauntlet to the heart of the universe, Thanos has always tried to take over the universe. And that's your solution to the Phoenix. My name is Dorian. This is SCN Comics. We continue our coverage of Phoenix. Number 6. Our story starts off with Adani, and she is surrounded by Paragus and the other dark gods. And then the Phoenix comes out of nowhere, saying that she can help her. But then Paragus says, "Child, you need to make a decision." And she chooses to cut down the Phoenix. And then she wakes up because it was a dream. The Phoenix was in her mind recently, the last issue. She wound up linking up with the Phoenix somehow, some way. And then she was able to hear all the voices that the Phoenix hears all the time. And it would have killed her because her mind is just too primitive to be able to conceive all those voices asking for help at one time. The Phoenix, or should I say Jean Grey, helped her by putting on some psychic blockers so she couldn't hear the voices anymore. So now in her mind, there's like a conflict of interest. She knows that Paragus is a bad person. He is the one that killed her father. Problem is that she also knows that the Phoenix is relatively good, but the Phoenix's decision to let Paragus go is what led to her father being killed. So she doesn't know what she's going to do. But now we cut to Corvus Glaive, and he is in charge of a whole armada that is trying to hunt down the Phoenix. And when I mean whole armada, I mean whole armada. But the Phoenix has a plan. Her plan is Nova, who is behind the armada, and he starts shooting the ships from behind, which throws off Corvus Glaives. The other ships want to turn around and start dealing with Nova. He's like, we need to stay focused on the Phoenix because the Black Order will have its revenge because the Phoenix clapped their cheeks. So Nova calls the Phoenix Firebird, and she's like, "Why'd you call me Firebird?" And he's like, "It's your code name." And Phoenix is like, "Isn't Phoenix my code name?" And Nova's like, "That's too obvious. Don't take the fun out of this. All right, we're taking on a whole armada. And besides, this is definitely going on my resume." So Phoenix is pretty much done playing around, and she sends out a pulse that pretty much shuts down all the weapon systems and all the ships in this whole armada. So her and Nova go flying off. Phoenix is trying to find Paragus and Thanos, but she can't locate them. She's like, they don't exist, which is crazy to a being who is omniscient like her. And on the next page, we see why she can't sense them. Because Thanos is wearing something called the Warlock's Eye. I guess he got it in Thor 129, which is way before the Immortal Thor run, and that's been going on for over a year now. So he got it a while back. And he run across this soldier who's having a conflict of interest on whether he should stab this government official of this planet. And then Thanos walks over and reminds the soldier that every choice has a consequence. These guys could have chose to surrender, but instead they chose violence. And this is their consequence. The soldier also has a choice. He could choose not to kill this guy, and he will suffer the consequences. Needless to say, he stabs the bejesus out this dude. But there is an issue with the Warlock's Eye. It protects Thanos from being seen by the Phoenix, but for some reason, it's doing the same thing for the Phoenix. Thanos can't locate her. But then Corvus Glaive shows up, and Thanos is like, "Corvus, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be with the Armada." And he explains how the Phoenix people clapped their cheeks with the help of Nova. And then Thanos is like, she has an ally. Good. So then we cut to the Phoenix. She's on some planet somewhere, and she's talking to Scott, who is in Alaska dealing with his own issues. So once he gets the lowdown, he's like, I could send the X-Men and the Avengers to your location. And the Phoenix is like, for one thing, it'll take too long. For another thing, you guys got your own stuff you gotta deal with. Let me deal with this. But she explains, I do have some help. I got Rich. And Scott's like, Rich? Rich who? And she's like, look, it's Richard Rider Nova. And Scott's like, can you trust him? And she's like, Thanos has turned the entire galaxy against me. I have very limited people I can't trust. So right now, I have to trust him. And as soon as she says that, she gets attacked by Nova. And Scott's like, what is that? And she's like, don't worry about it. Let me give you a call back. Then she starts dealing with Nova. Reason being is because Thanos couldn't locate the Phoenix, but he damn sure could locate Nova. And not only can he locate him, but he can, I guess, mind control him to where he is now attacking the Phoenix. So she keeps dodging his attacks. Finally, she's like, all right, I gotta do something. And she punches the bejesus out of Nova. And that was enough to bring him back to his senses. So she's asking what the hell happened. He's like, I don't know. It was something like magic. And then she's like, man, they will stop at nothing. And so then Nova's like, all right, he has an armada. He has unlimited armies. And seems like he has unlimited psychic potential. And he has a dark eye. Like, what are we going to do? All of a sudden, all you hear is, well, for starters, you got us. Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, Sif, and Rocket Raccoon show up. Now, the old me would have said, what the hell is Rocket Raccoon going to do? But I know that Rocket Raccoon could do plenty. And like it says in the subtext, he's not a raccoon.